10 years ago, when the news broke out officially that Michael was dead, I did not believe it at first, but not in the sense that you would think I wouldn't believe it. There was a reason I didn't believe it. This was back in 2009, of course, where I'm still working at the same place I'm working now as back then. I was doing my job, and one of my female coworkers just randomly walked up to me and told me, "Hey, did you hear Michael Jackson died?" I didn't have an initial response, because I didn't know if I should take it seriously or not. Celebrity death hoaxes were a major thing. They're still a major thing to this day, just not as fluent as they were back then. Michael was no exception. Michael had a death hoax the year before 2009, and I believe he had a death hoax in 2007 as well. So I had no incentive to believe this was any different. But at the same time, I knew that there would be only one way for me to verify it for myself, whether the news was legitimate or not. But the only way I could verify that was when my shift was over. So my shift ended, I clocked out, I got into my car, and this was how I was going to verify if the news was legitimate or not, was if I turned my car radio on and I would hear an MJ song. The first thing I would hear would be an MJ song. And that's exactly what happened. I turned my car radio on, and Billie Jean was playing. This was out of the ordinary. I live in the Midwest region of the United States. In my particular area of that region, for whatever reason, radio never played Michael's music down here, ever. At least, not since I was a teenager. I have never once heard an MJ song on the radio in this area that I live in. So, when I turn on the radio and I actually hear one when I turn my car radio on, that was all I needed. That was all I needed to know that this news was legitimate. Michael was actually deceased. He was dead. He was gone. Now, I am the biggest critic of MJ and his family. I'm pretty sure anyone can tell you that. Criticism aside, though, you can't deny the caliber of entertainment the man brought you when he was alive. And I guess since he died as well, given with all the unreleased material that his estate has been supplying to the public since his death. We've had the Michael album, and we've had the Escape album, and we had the This Is It movie. So we've had no shortage of entertainment from MJ as far as him not being around to actually give it is concerned, but still, I can be critical of somebody and still respect their art craft. I can be critical of somebody and still be a fan. It's just the difference is I separate the artist and the individual. Because the whole point of art is it's not supposed to reflect what you are or who you are 100%. It's supposed to make you reflect the world the way you see it. That's what art is. when MJ died, I was somewhat inspired to start dancing like him again. I mean, until he died, I'd say it was a good 4 or 5 years since I busted an MJ move, because I just lost interest. That's probably another video I'll make another time, is my experiences as someone who can dance like Michael can. That's another video I'll make another time. But Michael's death was the reason I started making YouTube videos. Well, actually, it's the reason I started making videos, but I didn't originally make YouTube videos. Originally, I made videos on Yahoo before Yahoo's video client went down. But eventually, I transitioned to YouTube videos. And then my channel started going all over the place. I started making inconsistent content. But I still try to make time to make dance videos now and then. It's just with my living arrangements currently, I don't really have a very good space to make dancing videos. I mean, I made 1 or 2. If you don't count all the MJ Experience videos I made, which I hardly put any effort in terms of dancing, I hardly put any effort into those because the move registrations for my right arm probably won't register as they should if I put 100% effort into the dancing. And I kind of like getting good scores on that game, so I have to sacrifice something. I have to sacrifice either the quality of the moves or I have to sacrifice the score. I'd rather sacrifice the quality of the moves, but to get the better score. But outside of my MJ Experience videos, which I don't put much effort into whatsoever, I've only made a couple of dance videos in the past few years. But as I stated before, I can be critical of someone and still respect them as a worker, which I do. No amount of criticism is going to disintegrate Michael's knack for putting on a good show, Michael's knack for making entertaining music videos, Michael's knack for his intellectual interpretation of certain things when giving interviews. It's never gonna change any of that because they're separate. Those are two separate things of the same person. It's a branch out. So yeah, the only way I could verify Michael's death was if I actually heard one of his songs on the radio in my car when I got off work the day he died. Isn't that sad? I mean, that's literally how radio in my area treated his music. Was they just never played it. They just never played it. And of course, ever since then, they've been playing it all the time. I mean, even since this is the most absurd part, even since the Leaving Neverland debacle, they still play his music. And believe me, radio had every incentive to stop playing his music after the Leaving Neverland documentary. They had every incentive to. I mean, other stations have done it elsewhere. So I don't understand the thought process of radio in my particular part of the world, honestly. It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. That's at least one artist that is being played on the radio that wasn't being played before. There's a second artist I wish they would play on the radio, but I don't think even if he dies, that's ever going to happen. Because that's just a kind of small town Bible Belt region that I live in. It's just weird. So yeah, that's my little interesting story of the day Michael died. It's been 10 years already. I don't plan to ever stop dancing. There's like him. I may never perform, you know, a show ever again. At least for the time being. I may never perform a show again, but so yeah, that's so that's my story of the day MJ died. I just had to verify it by using my car radio, which I find pathetic, but that's just how things were back then. So, if any of you have any interesting stories about when you heard Michael had died, by all means, go ahead, tell him. Leave a comment. I want to socialize with other MJ fans. I really do. I just want to socialize with MJ fans who can separate reality from fantasy and also separate fact from fiction. And sadly, that is most of the time never the case with the fans that I talk to. You need no further proof of that than to read comments on my videos. But I do want to socialize with other fans. I do. So by all means, leave a comment and hopefully we can talk about this further at length. So anyways, 10 years since Michael died. It does kind of suck, but frankly, I think he's better off than everyone else at this point. So until next time.